Russia's premier shipbuilding company, Sevmash, has completed a major modernization of its facilities, setting the stage for the production of the country's next generation of nuclear submarines. The move marks a critical step in Russia's efforts to upgrade its naval capabilities amid growing global maritime competition. Sevmash, the largest shipbuilding enterprise in Russia, is renowned for constructing strategic nuclear-powered submarines for the Russian Navy. The company's recent upgrades include state-of-the-art assembly halls, new slipways, enhanced dry docks, and digitalized production lines, all designed to streamline and accelerate submarine construction. According to industry reports, the upgrades are part of a broader national plan to develop fifth-generation submarines, particularly the much-anticipated Laika class, also referred to as the Husky class, multi-purpose nuclear submarines. These future submarines are expected to feature advanced stealth technologies, modular weapon systems, and reduced crew requirements due to higher levels of automation. The modernization of Sevmash's facilities will significantly improve the construction and outfitting processes for new submarines, a company spokesperson said. This will allow us to meet the increasing technological demands of modern naval warfare. Russia's new generation of submarines is expected to be armed with cutting-edge weaponry, including hypersonic missiles and unmanned underwater vehicles, UUVs. Analysts believe these vessels will boast quieter propulsion systems and improved survivability, giving them a decisive edge in undersea combat. The Laika-class submarines will likely incorporate composite materials in their construction, helping reduce their acoustic signature and making them harder to detect. New reactor designs are also in development, aimed at extending operational range and decreasing the frequency of maintenance intervals. This would allow the submarines to remain deployed for longer periods without surfacing. In addition to stealth and endurance improvements, Russia is also integrating artificial intelligence into onboard systems. This AI integration will assist with navigation, target detection, and threat analysis, providing commanders with faster decision-making tools during combat operations. The move towards smarter submarines reflects a global trend among major naval powers. Sevmash's upgrades are not only limited to physical infrastructure. The company has also invested in workforce training, preparing engineers and technicians to work with the latest shipbuilding technologies. Collaborations with Russian research institutes have further boosted innovation, ensuring the shipyard remains at the forefront of submarine design. Currently, Russia's submarine fleet is centered around the Boreas-class ballistic missile submarines and the Yasen-M-class cruise missile submarines. The next-generation vessels are intended to complement and eventually replace older models, providing enhanced capabilities in both strategic deterrence and conventional operations. As Russia moves forward with its ambitious plans, global naval dynamics are expected to shift. NATO allies are closely monitoring these developments, prompting discussions about reinforcing anti-submarine warfare capabilities in key regions like the North Atlantic, the Arctic, and the Pacific. The race to dominate the world's oceans is clearly entering a new phase, with Sevmash's upgrades playing a pivotal role. The international community has expressed growing concern over Russia's intensified naval modernization efforts. Military analysts argue that the deployment of a new fleet of fifth-generation submarines could tilt the strategic balance underwater, especially in contested areas such as the Arctic Ocean, which is becoming increasingly important due to emerging shipping routes and untapped energy resources. In response to Russia's advances, several NATO countries are ramping up investments in anti-submarine warfare, ASWQE technology. The United States, United Kingdom, and Norway are actively expanding their fleets of patrol aircraft, underwater drones, and new sonar arrays to better track and counter quieter Russian submarines. These developments suggest an impending technological race below the waves. Sevmash's modernization also holds economic significance for Russia's defense industry. The upgrades ensure that Sevmash remains competitive globally, potentially opening doors to export future submarines to allied nations. Though international sanctions currently limit Russia's defense exports, Moscow continues to foster military ties with several non-Western countries that might seek advanced submarine capabilities. Meanwhile, Russian naval doctrine is evolving to integrate the capabilities of the new submarines. Experts predict a shift toward distributed lethality strategies, where smaller, stealthier submarines operate independently or in small groups to complicate enemy tracking and defense planning. Hypersonic missile deployment from submarines would further expand Russia's ability to strike strategic targets at unprecedented speeds. Beyond military uses, Russian officials have hinted that the technologies developed through submarine programs could have civilian applications. Advances in material science, nuclear reactor miniaturization, and underwater robotics might eventually benefit Russia's energy sector, Arctic exploration missions, and maritime research projects. Sevmash's leadership has been vocal about the symbolic importance of the modernization effort. In public statements, executives describe the upgrades as a demonstration of Russia's resilience and commitment to maintaining technological sovereignty despite sanctions and international pressure. They emphasize that a strong navy remains a cornerstone of Russia's national security strategy. Construction of the first fifth-generation submarine prototype is expected to begin in the coming years, with sea trials possibly starting in the early 2030s. If successful, Russia's next-generation submarines could stay operational well into the 2070s, reshaping the underwater battle space for decades. Observers note that the global strategic environment is already being shaped by new undersea threats. From deep-sea surveillance to undersea cable protection and covert operations, submarines are playing a growing role beyond traditional warfare. Sevmash's advancements position Russia to compete in all these emerging domains, signaling the arrival of a new era in submarine warfare.